A pleasure to meet all at last, and welcome back to the Vlog-A-Thon itself. And now, let me go on ahead and simply state that I have something to tell every one of you. There was actually a plan of mine set in motion to make a second feature film related project. Even if it was just another one of those short films, I simply put would have wanted to put together a nice feature film to go along with anything else that I've already done so far. My work with feature film related projects is only going to continue to get better and better, but of course, Nerf Secret Reveal Bolts of Intrigue was something out of the ordinary in a way. Mainly because it was the first ever kind of feature film related work that I ever put together, and the fact that it was only 25 minutes in length, I knew I could simply do a lot better than that. As a matter of fact, 25 minutes is not at all equivalent to an actual full-length feature film. It would normally be from 85 minutes to up to 180 minutes. But this all depends on what goes down in the films themselves. Lots of films out there can in fact reach up to 2 to 3 hours at a time, but mine has not gotten even close to that. And so, the way I see it, it probably wasn't really the best kind of feature film related project I could have put together, but there's actually a lot of reasons that I have for this kind of insolence. One being the fact that I barely just had enough time to simply put everything together, and I hardly could ever have enough time for anything at all, as a matter of fact. It was kind of a rushed project too. And I was able to put in a lot of good stuff here and there, but there were some things that I had pretty much missed out on. And it does feel like that I had to do some changes to it that maybe it shouldn't have been done, but I guess mainly the reason I just did not want to have anything go down on it that would be very negative towards the influence of having my first ever feature film related project go down on my channel. But let me just say that Nerf Secret Reveal Bolts of Intrigue was not alone at all in terms of feature film related projects that I had set in motion. There was another one out there called Inhospitable, which was going to be a simple message out there to let everyone know that if they don't drive safe in the snow or in the winter of any case or whatsoever, anything could happen to them. That would be very dangerous, tragic, and deadly. The film itself was originally scheduled for release on January 31st, 2020. But now that it's been more than 2 weeks since that had pretty much passed on, and I had almost zero progress going down on it, why don't I go ahead and explain what happened back there. The main reason for why Inhospitable had no progress whatsoever and was pretty much past its own little due date and release schedule was because of the fact that I had actually scrapped that project, in a way. But this was mostly in turn because of a whole anomaly of events that ended up unfolding. For one, being the fact that Gaming with Kaiju Force Neo, because of how much bigger it's been getting lately, it wouldn't have made sense to simply go ahead and start other projects out there when such a really big series out there like GWK or even Hot Wheels Hilarity, which required even more work from me to be able to pull off, would simply put allow me to have enough time to be able to work on other things out there. And the fact is that I do have myself a small life out there. Aside from working on my YouTube channel as being a primary job of mine, there have been others. If you don't remember from last year, then well, the Marcus Theaters Corporation was definitely something out there that I had been working on for so long. And so, at this point, it probably would have been just simply alright for me to just have that canceled. So this way I wouldn't necessarily have to deal with all of the certain recurring issues at this point. But everything out there that I've already done, I feel like that it would have been right for me to simply continue with such a project like this, that I would have actually had myself some good feedback on it. A message like, people out there that don't ever dress appropriately for certain weather conditions out there, a message out there needs to be put so that way others out there can simply learn and observe the many things out there that could happen to you if you don't dress appropriately, nor do you behave appropriately out there in the winter. Because it is actually found in at least 2/3 of the entire planet itself. Winter-related climates, they do in fact span from the North Pole to the South Pole, but the very center is encased by the equator, with blazing hot temperatures. And of course, there was also a project of mine that I was simply going to talk about where I would simply be put in the desert. But that wouldn't really happen for a while. But going back to Inhospitable, such a project like that probably would have had to come out at this point. Although I can simply point out that maybe it might not be too late for me to make a project like that. I guess the only real thing that I would have to do would be to make some time for it, and that most of the time it would certainly have been the best idea out there for me to simply go upon. And let it be known now that at this point, I feel like that Inhospitable might be something that I should work on as soon as possible. It may not be too late after all to put together a project like that. And considering how we still have a ton of snow to come, it might be an opportunity of a lifetime, in a way. An opportunity of a year at best. But now, I guess I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed about talking about certain things that I had to scrap and the like, so I guess I'm just going to leave it to you with the fact that it was a project of mine that I wanted to put together, but it didn't work out. But if you want to see more, go down to my channel aside from all of this stuff. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.